My dear learners, let us study one more sonnet from the pen of William Shakespeare. The sonnet that I'm going to explain particularly to you line by line is sonnet number 18. And the title of the sonnet is Shall I Compare Thee? Since William Shakespeare had not given his sonnets title, so as per custom in English literature, the first line of the poem becomes the title. So, the first line of this poem is Shall I compare thee to a summer day? So, this is also the title of this poem. In the previous video, when I was actually explaining it to you, Shakespeare's sonnet number 116, Let me not marriage to the true minds, I told you that Shakespeare has written 154 sonnet, means 154 sonnets, and first 126 sonnets are actually addressed and dedicated to Mr. W.H. and sonnet number 127 to 152 dedicated to Dark Lady, that is Mary Fitton, and sonnet number 153 and 54 dedicated to the god of love, young god of love, Cupid. So since this is sonnet number 18, it means this sonnet is dedicated or addressed to Mr. W.H., Mr. William Herbert. Here in this very particular sonnet, Shakespeare is actually glorifying the beauty of that male youth, that fair youth. Shakespeare was, we can say that, in in love with. Here Shakespeare is seeking the permission or asking the permission of his own friend whether he should compare his fairness, his beauty with a summer day or to a summer day or not with to a summer day or not, but he himself outrightly rejects it in the next line of the poem on multiple grounds. Let's look at these multiple grounds and enjoy this beautiful sonnet of Shakespeare, that is sonnet number 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? It means, see this, the first line ends with a question mark. It means here Shakespeare is seeking the permission of his friend for comparing his beauty with a summer, his beauty to a summer day. But before he could answer him, he says, he himself rejects it. He himself cancels it out in the next line, saying, Thou art more lovely and more temperate. He says that no, your comparison is not possible to a summer day. Why? Because you are more lovely. You are lovelier. You are lovelier and more beautiful in comparison with a summer day. Why? Because neither summer season nor the beauty of the summer is permanent. So how can I immortalize you by comparing with a summer day? So this is out of the question. See this? Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. Darling buds of May. So the beautiful imagery Shakespeare has used in the third line of the poem. He says that actually summer is known for its beautiful just objects like flowers and the greenery and so many other things. But he says, is it permanent? Is the beauty of the summer day permanent? Is the summer day all the time bright and pleasant? Is the beauty of the summer permanent? Do those beautiful do those beautiful small unopened flowers hold on long? Stay for a long time? No. Why? Because sometimes in summer seasons, wind blows in a very strong and in a very rough manner. And whenever wind blows in a rough and strong manner, what does the wind do? It ravages. It shakes the beautiful just the buds of the May and destroys the beauty of the summer. So how is it possible that I compare you to a summer day? It is not possible. See the next line. And summer's leaves. See here in the fourth line, summer's leaves. It means here summer. Summer is personified as a tenant. All right, tenant who has or yes, who has been given certain thing on length, certain thing on lease. He says, and summer's lease hath all too short a date fixed, limited time. And he says that summer itself is not permanent. When the day summer begins, we know that when the summer will end. It means the summer season itself is not permanent. So here just William Shakespeare has personified summer season as a tenant or as something living being, all right, given a certain length of time to live on this planet. And after that, whether the summer likes it or dislikes it, it will have to go. Why? Because the next season will come in, will set in. So he says, first, the beauty of the summer is not permanent. Second, summer itself is not permanent. So this question is out. So this question is this is almost you can say that idiotic or nonsense to compare the fairness means beauty of his friend to a summer day. Why? Because he wants to immortalize he wants to immortalize his friend, and that's why he wants to compare it. But summer itself is temporary. So here the first stanza means first quatrain of the poem ends. Now let's look at the second one. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. So the eye of heaven, it means here sun is personified as a living being with an eye. He says that sometime the sun pours out a lot of heat. Sometimes the days in the summer season are very, very hot, so hot that one cannot stand for a moment, for a few minutes under the glare of the sun. But most of the time, what happens? The summer, the summer just the sun has to just the sun has to spread its glare. glare in the presence of the clouds, and those clouds somehow do not allow the sun to shine with all its luster and brightness. But sometimes it is too hot too hot to bear it, too hot to be borne. See, he says what? And often is his gold complexion dimmed. Gold complexion dimmed, it means sun is personified. So he says that, first of all, he says that in the second quadrant, first of all, he says sometimes the sun is very hot, means the day in the summer season is very hot, the sun shines very brightly or too brightly. It it gives out too much, you can say, that heat. But often the golden complexion of the sun is dimmed, all because of the overcasting condition in the summer. And every fair from fairs sometime declines, and he has one thing in his own mind, that all the things found on this planet are actually what? Mortal, temporary. Nothing on this planet that can that can live as long as long as as long as the life on this planet does exist. He knows this. This is the law of the nature. The thing that comes into existence on this planet, that thing has to die on a certain day. If one is born here on this planet, the day one is born, that day it becomes absolutely clear, or it becomes absolutely just fixed, that that thing has to die one day. So the most beautiful thing on this earth is what? Sorry, has to die one day. So nothing on this planet is permanent. So why to compare something, or how can he immortalize his friend by comparing his soft features with these things on this planet that are to die one day? By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. So by chance. So some of the beautiful things accidentally die, or accidentally lose their lives, and some depend on the weather condition. As we all of know that weather keeps changing, seasons keep changing. One season comes to an end, and when one season comes to an end, it it paves the way for another season to come and continue. So he says most of the thing, not most of the thing, almost all the things found on this planet are subject to destruction and death. Some accidentally, and some because of the changing course of the season, or because of the changing weather condition, or because of the atmospheric conditions. He says but thy eternal summer shall not fade. Thy eternal summer, it means here metaphor is used. Why? Because here he compares the beauty of his friend to eternal summer. You can say exaggeration is also used in this line. He says, but your summer, means your beauty, will never fade, never decline. You will remain young and beautiful. How? Because I have found a way out to immortalize you. I have found a way out to preserve your beauty. and that is this poem of mine, in which I am describing and glorifying your beauty will preserve you. And as long as my poem will live, you will live, you will survive. See the beauty of the line. Nor lose possession of that where thou owest, own. So he says that I'm going to immortalize you by preserving you in my poem. And how I'm preserving you? By describing and glorifying your beauty in this poem of mine. So in this way, I'm just going to immortalize you. Since I'm going to immortalize you, since I am what? Glorifying your extraordinary physical features. By doing that, I am also preserving your beauty. So neither you're going to die nor your beauty is going to fade. See. So see the next line of the third quatrain. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. And here death is also personified. So here he paints death as a very cruel, boastful kind of being that always brags. Why? Because brags about its strength and power, that it kills and claims the life of one and all, from the weakest to the strongest. But he says that death is not going to be proud. I'm not going to let the death to be proud by claiming your life. Death is not going to even touch you. Death will not be able even to touch you. So here death is personified. When in eternal lines to time thou growest. So he says you will all the time grow in these lines, in these lines of my poem. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives, and this gives life to thee. So beautiful couplet, beautiful concluding couplet of the poem. So he says that as long as human race, or the human species you can say, or the human race on this planet survives, they have eyes. Their eyes can see, they can breathe, so long as my poems will live. And in them or with them you shall live. So he says that as long as this world is going to survive, my poems are going to survive. And since my poems are the record of your beauty and your life, you're going to survive. So see how beautifully William Shakespeare had found a way out, particularly to immortalize the beauty of his own friend. No doubt at all, it is absolutely illogical. We cannot find the claims of this big claim of Shakespeare logical. But if we set aside all these and look at the poem, bearing in mind the emotion and feelings of Shakespeare for his own friend, will find that what a great emotion and feeling Shakespeare had for his own friend. So I hope, my dear learners, this explanation of mine will definitely help you understand this poem. Provided that you find some complication, do let me know.